how do I get to my intuition or instincts and so forth? How do I increase my instincts and how do I start listening to my inner voice and all of that? First off, you gotta understand that this will take time because you have to align all of these things that I always speak of. Diet, and you gotta diet properly, you gotta fast properly, you gotta train, because when you're training, you listen to your body. The first thing though is that, I mean, most people listen to music all the time. They listen to all sorts of noise. You listen to a lot of politics, what else? Music, podcasts, a billion YouTube channels and videos. You have all these opinions and noises in your head, and how are you supposed to understand what your voice is? Your true voice, not just the voice we always have as a loop feedback in our head, but also your taste and your opinion and so forth. Not just opinion, but an opinion you settled on, which takes a lot of time. Hence why when I speak of, I've thought about the meaning of life for 14 years, I have now settled after 14 years of thinking about it. So it took a lot of time here, right? You don't just get here immediately. The way my philosophy is because of this. I didn't get there immediately. It took me 14 years to get here. So a lot of inner conflict, a lot of conflict and so forth. A lot of information, a lot of wisdom seeking, a lot of reading. Especially in artistry and intellectual, I got my voice, but and then even further with instincts, even deeper, once I started dieting properly as well. Because when I eat ancestrally, it's almost like I get to my, our ancestors. You make life simpler, you cut out the noise. So essentially minimalism, essentially some sort of, asceticism, and that's it. You gotta cut things, because cutting things will make you disciplined, and you have to be disciplined to be able to start listening to your intuition. That's why you are lost in the first place. You gotta have discipline, which won't make you lost anymore and confused anymore. And once you have discipline, you will understand where you want to be and what your criterias are and so forth. So first you got to have discipline, and you get discipline by proper diet, the whole foundation, all right? Proper diet, fasting, meditation, proper sleep, proper everything, all right? All those things first, proper habits. That's the foundation. Those are the most important things at first as a foundation. And then you can move on and start understanding yourself in all other areas, because this will get you into the other areas in life, relations as well, but also your work and things like that. And when I say work, of course, I mean the work you want to do, not a work that other people tell you to do. So you gotta own yourself. You have to own yourself. You remove all this noise in your head, all these opinions, politics. You gotta cut out politics. You gotta cut out social media. You gotta cut these things. And once you cut these things, once you have the discipline and you become a creator, then you can move back to these social media things and use it as a creator, but not as a consumer. Because when you're a consumer, that's when you're confused, and that's when nothing gets done. That's when nothing gets done. You see, literally, you're not a creator, nothing gets done. But when stuff gets done, that's a creator. A creator creates. A consumer just consumes. Now, every creator has to have a past of consuming, but not just a past in the future as well, in the present moment as well. But you got to learn how to consume disciplined as well. When you have discipline, that's when you get to everything, basically. I mean, that's when things start. That's when things start. The reason why you're not satisfied and so forth, the reason why you can't ever hear yourself is because of this, you know, all this noise, all this chaos. Now, chaos is good for creativity sometimes, but you gotta have order as well. You gotta be both, all right? You gotta be, it's paradoxical, but you gotta have discipline so that you can express your ideas or your work or whatever it is. But the creative force there, that might be chaotic. The creative work might be chaotic, but you still gotta be disciplined. So a perfect example is actually Nietzsche. So if you look at, for example, Beyond Good and Evil or the gay science, you know, it's not like there is a structure there. It's chaos in some sense. And yet he always knows where his stuff is. But it's not in a perfect order like that. But that's because, you know, disharmony and chaos is a beautiful thing. He sees it as that, but I also see it as that at certain, you know, it depends, but from the artistic, yes. But if you look at how he lived, you see rhythms in his life. You see habits that he doesn't break. He basically goes on and on the same way each and every single day. So he has some structure to his life. So he had discipline. He ate the same things every single day. He walked those mountains every single day. He had his routine, morning and you know, lunch, and then evening and so forth. So you gotta have some order, and then if you want to, you can produce order or you produce chaos. You have some kind of order. That's why I'm speaking of rhythms and not, you know, these perfect structures every single day. If you want to, you can do that. But I know that most people can't do this. So, and it's not human, you become a robot. So I want to keep the humanity. So, but it will be approximate every single day. It will be approximate every single day. Well, that is precisely how you get to intuition. Because once you have discipline, you start listening to yourself because you've cut out everything you don't need. You'll notice that you have a lot of time left. So what do you do with this time? You can think a lot with this time, but you can also recover a lot with this time, or you can work a lot with this time. And you delegate these things, but they should be similar each and every day. That's the rhythm, that's the discipline, that's the habits. But then you gotta have, in those habits, you got diet, and you got, you know, you eat once a day, you eat properly, ancestrally, you eat, you fast every single day, 22 hours or something like that, 23. You don't, you see, we don't want mediocrity here. I'm always talking about this. I don't want mediocrity. I'm only interested in ambitious people. To be highly ambitious and you want to execute those things, you gotta start disciplining yourself, and then you get your intuition and instincts, and that's precisely, and those will translate into your work, and you will be able to correct your course. If you feel like you've gone awry, you will always be able to go, all right, I don't feel like doing this right now, so I'm gonna work on this. So you do that. Or I don't feel like doing precisely this, but I'm gonna change it a little bit, and like this, whatever it is, I can't tell you exactly because we're all different. But you will be able to navigate like that, and that's your instinct, that's your intuition, right? You will be able to navigate like, all right, I don't feel like this. So feeling is not a bad thing. It's just that it's a bad thing if you're just all over the place and you have mood swings and you're totally lost and confused. That's when it's bad. But it's bad mainly because of your diet, actually. So you gotta discipline yourself with diet first, and fasting, especially fasting as well, because fasting teaches you discipline, and even more so. And then including the diet, You got the recipe for discipline. I know I've talked more about discipline in this video, but it will translate into your intuition. All right? All these, 5 steps this or 5 steps that, that is all just nonsense. I don't know if the first step is just changing yourself. That's the first step, and you got to do that. And that's the main thing. Everything else will follow. You just listen to what I say about diet and fasting and exercise, and you implement all those things. And if you have problems with sleep, you can watch my sleep video as well. But I will make more videos about sleep as well. But your sleep will get corrected once you have this discipline, but also once you have you don't have any stress in your life as well. You got to cut out the stress as well. You got to be relaxed. You got to be determined. So, and you get determined, and you understand your determination through your instinct. And this will come to you. I mean, it will come to you in different levels, in different layers in life, and it will come in, you will start, your smell will get better, and I believe intuition has a lot of, it's a deep connection to metabolism as well. I get a high metabolism when I daily fast like I do. So I believe that's a lot part of the deeper, that's a deep part of the intuition thing. So proper diet and fasting, I believe those are most important, but also training, because when you train, you feel your body a lot. So that's a way to exercise your intuition. So you see, you can exercise your intuition in a lot of sense, but you can't listen to music while you're training. So you see, that's the mistake there. That's the main mistake there. And you shouldn't just be in your thoughts all the time when you're training. You can be, but always try to go back, like in meditation, go back to your breath, but you can go back to, always try to go back to your limbs, and you feel your muscles and things like that. Soreness, whatever you feel, use those meditation techniques, but in your training, that's how you accumulate instinct as well. You see? That's how you accumulate instinct. You exercise instinct a lot with exercise, and but also with metabolism from diet and fasting, because of fasting. So you see, it all goes back to diet, fasting, and exercise. Always those 3. There is a reason why I call it foundation and why it always pops up. There is a reason for that, and it teaches discipline. And when that teaches you discipline, you will be able and capable to work and put all the effort into your work later or during. So so that's the process. I try to do those and see where you are from there. But I promise you will be able to listen to your inner voice much better. As always, I will see you tomorrow.